Hello there, everybody. This is King Mac, your friendly hamburger pal. Welcome to this feature presentation on YouTube. Be sure to enjoy a hot, fresh cheeseburger along with some delicious golden French fries, a tasty milkshake, and a nice soft drink. Thank you all for watching, and now sit back and relax and enjoy as Tony here brings you our feature presentation of TTBurger game reviews.
I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the free.
Welcome back, my friends! You ready for some more game reviews this year? More TTBurger game reviews? Well, you come to the right place, because we're continuing my Shinobi series review, episode 239, part 2 of 2, as we dive into the sequel to the 2002 version of Shinobi here, as you play as a brand new character called Hibana, who is basically a female Shinobi-like character and stuff. But before we get started here, I want to give a shout out to Freezing HD and SubZeroMNX for King Mac. I also want to give a shout out to the YouTubers here, such as the Hyperlamnia, Megs, Brickles with Stateside, and Black Healer for all their hard work on their channels too. And give us a good work, you guys are awesome as well. And I also want to give a shout out to every one of you all who has supported this channel for the last 6 years. If one of you guys' this channel wouldn't be as big as today, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you all. And expect more videos coming up soon. But we have a lot to talk about here for episode 239, part 2 of 2. Before we get started, let's bring it over here, this hot and fresh TTBurger recap that's ready for a Sunday barbecue to show you what you missed in episode 239, part 1 of 2. As I took a look at Shinobi, the 2002 for the PlayStation 2, and gave it an 8 out of 10 because there were some problems I had with the difficulty and the controls and stuff like that. But overall, it was still a great game I definitely recommend. But if those of you who aren't a fan of games where you die a lot, then I would pass this one up. But those of you who like challenging games, this is for you for sure. But today we're going to zoom ahead to February 10th, 2004, back when I was a freshman in high school when this came out. And we're going to look at the sequel to Shinobi, it's called Nightshade, starring Hibana, which was released exclusively for the PlayStation 2, released on February 10th, 2004, like I said. We have a lot to talk about here. Let's get started. Now, Nightshade, I was concerned about when this game was going to release, how it was going to turn out, because usually sometimes when sequels are released, they end up being worse than its predecessor and stuff. But it proved me wrong, because Nightshade is definitely a fun game. It definitely takes advantage of the PlayStation 2's hardware, and definitely takes advantage of its predecessor as well. And we get a fun game, a challenging game just like last time, but still manages to be fun. Once again, we have this action 3D hack and slash game. We'll beat 'em up where you slice down the enemies with your sword and shuriken, special and ninja magic moves and more and stuff like that, and more and more and more. If you played the last game, you'll know that this game does not hold your hand, and you will have to think on your feet and figure out on how to progress to the next level and stuff. However, even though the difficulty has been kind of toned down a little bit for those who didn't like the challenge for the last game, it still definitely has a lot of challenging for sure. There are problems, and some have to do just from Shinobi here and our present here, and some I've gotten a little bit better, but we'll talk about later, so let's get started. The story of Nightshade puts you in a role as a female Shinobi called Hibana, who is pretty much the female version of Hotsuma from Shinobi. Hibana is a government-employed ninja who has been tasked to eliminate the members of the Nakatomi Corporation who have unleashed hellspawn enemies upon Tokyo. Along the way, Hibana must also recover the shards of the legendary cursed sword, Akujiki, the same sword Hotsuma used to seal the hellspawn in the last game. There is more to the story, but I'm going to leave it at that for those who want to play the game, because if you spend too much time talking about the story, you'll spoil it if you actually want to play it. But we need to continue on here. For presentation, Nightshade's graphics are excellent that take advantage of the PlayStation 2's hardware. The character models look very crisp and detailed, even if they lack facial animations and more. The environments look not the best this time. This time, they have a more linear level approach, and some of the levels look generic, like this warehouse area, this tunnel area, and stuff like that, and it's got some generic levels there. Well, there are some good ones, but also some not so good looking environments there. They just do not have as much detail as the environments from Shinobi, especially since they are much linear this time, is what I'm trying to say. There was also not that much blood in this game. For an M-rated game, sure the enemies get sliced in half and stuff like that, but it feels a little like the blood was kind of toned down a little bit. But that's just me. The frame rate is smooth. I mean, I'm sure there may have been a couple of slowdowns here and there, but I didn't really notice them, so I can't really say anything else except that the frame rate is smooth. The pre-rendered cutscenes have a lot of detail to them. The only problem is lip syncing is not that great. It doesn't have to sync up to the English voices and stuff. And lastly, it's not an issue because you had both the English and Japanese audio, and that time the lip syncing matched up to the English audio. This time it's up to the Japanese only, and you're wondering why it's an issue? Well, we'll talk about the sound aspect here. The sound is just okay in my opinion. The voice setting, while decent, there's no Japanese audio to select. The first game did. Why not this one? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they had space to put it on there, but yeah. This is similar to what happened to the Onimusha series, where like the original trilogy, not counting the fourth game, the first game had both English and Japanese audio. The other two games in the trilogy did not, and you were stuck listening to the English voice setting. It was bad English voice setting, and the game suffered in sound department because of it. And this is what happens here. And while the voice setting is good, the lip syncing does not match up to the English audio, and no Japanese audio does kind of affect the sound a little bit. Because technically in Japan, you expect them to be talking in their native language and stuff. So why put it in English? Just could have kept it in Japanese, stuff like how they did with Yakuza and stuff like that, which came out later than that. Well, Yakuza 2 went up, so that the first Yakuza only had English, but you get what I mean there. The music is good. I will give some credit there and stuff, and the other sound effects sound good, but still the sound could have been better. The gameplay of Nightshade, it's fun despite the flaws. Like last time, your goal is to hack and slash your way through each level to get to the end and keep going till you beat the game. One unique aspect here is that Hibana can use her dash while she is in the air to attack the enemies on screen until a new wave of them come in. It adds points to your tate system, which does look really cool to do. Especially because like you can just do all the moves that Hotsuma can. You can run walls and do flips and all that stuff, and everything, throw your shurikens or stuff like that. But it's pretty cool how you can like use this like jump and do the dash, like slash the enemy stuff. It's pretty cool, and sure Hotsuma did this, but Hibana does it better. There are a lot of enemies to defeat, and the boss fights add challenge to them. Now, playing this game, you'll notice that Nightshade feels a little easier than Shinobi, and that's because it is easier. The difficulty was toned down for players who found the first game too difficult, but there is still challenge due to the fact that Nightshade plays like a platformer, and that's why I kind of like how you jump and do the dash where the enemies start out in the air, where you'll jump on the platforms and be careful not to fall. This is where the challenge factor comes into play. You need to be careful that you jump on the platform instead of falling down the pit and start down to the endless holes where you die and stuff. You can be tried from the middle of the levels if you found a checkpoint still, which too make it a lot less frustrating when you die. I feel like they definitely did their best to make this game more playable than Shinobi, and they succeeded. You have your ninja magic attacks once again. It's as much fun as Shinobi for sure. And I recommend picking it up for those who like Shinobi 2002 and PlayStation 2. But now I got the negatives here. Even though the difficulty has been toned down and stuff, it is still pretty difficult, especially when you die and stuff like everything. When you fall down, you down the holes and die and stuff. And there's this level where you're in this tunnel with a bunch of trucks there, so you gotta jump from truck to truck. You're trying to get all the items in the small crate stuff that you collect, and if you fall off one truck, you're starting at the beginning, which can be very, very frustrating, which will take you a long time and stuff. And sometimes I noticed in this level, the double jump wasn't working, and the falling on the ground is having to die and have to restart over and stuff. And this was kind of an issue here. I mean, I think that they could at least fix this up here. This happened a lot more than it should, stuff like that, but that's just me. The camera is still an issue, being stuck on walls and other outer environments. No Japanese audio. Some gamers may find this game a little too easy depending on how good you are. The enemy AI feels a little weaker than last time. Those who missed a tough enemy AI after the last game will not like this. Those who did not play Shinobi 2002 will feel like they're missing a part of the story. Those are the only place I have though. Final thoughts: if you like Shinobi and want some more action this time with a male Shinobi protagonist, I definitely recommend Nightshade. It's the way to go for sure. I give it once again an 8 out of 10 because of the problems I have with it. But still, this game is just as fun as its predecessor for sure. When it comes to the Shinobi games here, I definitely recommend both of these. They're both equally fun. If you want a game with a tough challenge and you play as a male Shinobi, pick this one up. If you want a game that's a little easier and stuff like that, where like the enemy AI is less frustrating stuff while play the female, then pick up this one. Or if you're in the middle, just pick up both up. You decide which one's better. Me, I like them both equally. Which all I gotta say for my Shinobi series review, Stay tuned for episode 240, what will we cover then. But the final next, all I gotta say is Tony, peace now, have a good day, and see you all in episode 240. Take care, everybody.